Hi. So, you've just read your results and discovered that you're in what I call stage one, the high achiever trap. So, the very first thing I want you to say is don't panic. If those results feel uncomfortable or scary, or maybe just horribly familiar, and you're thinking, oh my goodness, that's me, I want you to know that you're not alone. In fact, after working with women for more than 20 years, I'd say you're in very good company. So, right now, there are probably loads of thoughts flying through that very busy brain of yours. You might be thinking things like, yeah, but you don't understand. I really do have to keep all the plates spinning. And yeah, no one has a clue just how much energy it takes me to kind of look like I've got it all together. And I know I'll absolutely look fine on the outside, but on the inside, it's a completely different story, believe me. And maybe for you, there's even a tiny sense of relief because perhaps for the first time in a long time, someone is holding up that mirror and helping you to start joining all of those dots. And maybe you've realized something really important. I hadn't noticed just quite how much of this has become my new normal. But here is what almost always happens next. As soon as those little moments of recognition start to bubble up, another voice quietly joins the conversation. You know the one, the sensible voice, the practical voice. This is the voice that says things like, nah, it's probably just stress. I've had a busy few months. And, maybe it's my age and my hormones. And doesn't everyone feel like this? I'm doing okay. It's not really that bad. Well, if you're anything like the women I work with, you might even have caught yourself thinking, maybe I'm just making too much of this and I should just get on with it. So, can I tell you something? One of the things that I've learned is that women in stage one almost always underestimate what is happening to them because you're still coping, you're still showing up, you're still going to work and looking after everything and everyone, you're still getting on with it and getting it all done. And because you're still functioning at your usual high level, they assume that everything is fine. But this is exactly why I call this the high achiever trap, because we're successful on the outside and exhausted on the inside. We're carrying it all whilst quietly wondering why everything feels so much harder than it should. Now, here's the thing, I understand this probably more than you might realize, partly because I've been where you are right now, but that's a story for another time. But right now, I just want to say this: the trap isn't that you're too ambitious, or that you love your work way too much, or that you want too much, or that you want to create wildly or make that incredible difference. I love all those things too. The trap is that you have become really good at negotiating with yourself. So every time your body whispers, oh, I'm tired, I need a good night's sleep, please slow down. Can we just have a weekend that's like, actually restorative? There's another part of you that immediately has an answer. Like, yeah, as soon as this deadline is done, once the summer holiday busyness is over, once this project settles down, when the children need me a little bit less, then I'll look after myself. And those answers sound so sensible, you believe it because you're capable, you're resourceful, and you're used to carrying so much. So you adapt a little bit more, you become even more organized, and you find another way to dig a little deeper and somehow keep even more plates spinning. And yeah, from the outside, you make it all look effortless. But on the inside, your body keeps paying the price month after month and year after year. Now, here is something I think you'll find really reassuring. The reason stage one is so easy to miss is because your body is horribly clever. And when you're under long-term pressure, your body doesn't just give up. Instead, she starts relying more heavily on your stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol just to keep you going, to keep you in the game. It's a bit like driving a car with the fuel warning light on the dashboard going, meh, meh, meh. I need fuel, but the engine's still running and the car's still moving, and it's costing you more and more just to keep going. And that's why so many women in stage 1 can still perform brilliantly whilst feeling utterly exhausted underneath it all. But eventually, that strategy becomes harder and harder for your body to sustain. And over time, things get worse and you start tipping from stage 1 into stage 2. And that's why these early whispers matter so much, because they're not a sign that you're failing, they're a sign that your body has been working incredibly hard to protect you until one day you realize you've been putting yourself on hold for a very long time. Your rest, your recovery, maybe even your dreams, your true needs, your joy. And perhaps that's the real trap. Not that you don't care about yourself, but that there's always one more perfectly reasonable excuse for why you can wait. So, before we go any further, can I ask you one small favour? Please don't let this become another thing that you think, yeah, I'll come back to it later. Because this is exactly what us high achieving women do. We carry on carrying on. And here's what I really want you to hear loud and clear. Just because you can keep carrying it doesn't mean that you should. And the fact that right now you're still coping does not mean it's not costing you. And the beautiful thing about stage 1 is this. Right now, your body is whispering. She's giving you that opportunity to listen before she has to shout. So tomorrow, I'm going to share one idea that completely changed the way that I understand exhaustion. Like honestly, when I learnt this, it turned everything that I thought I knew as a doctor with decades of experience, turned it upside down. And I have a feeling it's going to do exactly the same for you. Because over the next 3 short videos, we're going to join all of these dots together. You're going to finally understand why so many what seem to be unrelated symptoms actually join together, and why everything that you have tried hasn't really solved the problem. And also why none of this means that you're broken. In fact, what if the very symptoms that have convinced you that something is wrong are actually the evidence that your body has been fighting to protect you all this time? And once you understand all of that, everything changes. And I think you'll never look at your body in quite the same way again. So keep an eye out on your inbox. I'll be back tomorrow because that's where this journey really starts. I'll see you then.